Okay, today we're going to do day 102, adding and subtracting mixed numbers. Okay, so adding is pretty simple. Subtracting is a little bit more complicated, and that's what we're going to focus on the most, but we'll just do adding first. Say we have 3 4/5 plus 4 1, we'll say 4/15. Okay, so first thing I need to do is I need to do common denominators. So I need to find my LCM. So I'm going to do 5 and 15. 5, 10, 15. Oh, I know now the LCM is 15. So I am going to have my whole number stay the same, something over 15, plus whole number, something over 15. So now I'm focusing just on the whole number. I'm going to do 4/5 equals something over 15. How does 5 become 15? Times 3. So 4 times 3 equals 12. Now I'm going to do 4 over 15. How does 15 get to become 15? Times 1. So 4 times 1 equals 4. Now I have common denominators. I can add. Just like we do when we're adding money. Get a sticky note. Say, for example, I have, just watch, $4.75 plus $2.29. When we add, where do we start? We start here with the smallest amount first, and then we begin to carry over and carry over. We don't start with the whole number. So just like that, or just like with decimals, we're going to do the same thing with fractions. We're going to start with the fraction first. 12 plus 4 equals 16. My denominator is the same. 4 plus 3 equals 7. Now, this is a mixed number, but my fraction is improper. So I'm going to bring it down here just so you can see. I'm going to have 7 plus 16 over 15. What I'm doing is I just broke it up. It's like I'm adding the whole numbers only, and now I'm going to do, or look at the fractions only. So I know that's going to equal 7 plus, okay, I need to make this, put this in proper form. How many times does 15 go into 16? 1, with how many left over? 1. You want to see it? Doing it longhand. So now I'm going to have 8 and 1/15 as my answer. Okay, so that's adding fractions or mixed numbers. It's pretty simple. I'm going to flip and switch to the next page for subtracting because I'm going to need a little bit more space. Okay, the first one I'm going to do is we'll think of the method in a second. We'll think of what we're going to call it in a second. But say we have 3 and 1/5 minus 2 and 1. We'll say we're going to make the 1/6. Okay, so we know what we're going to need to do is we're going to have common denominators. So 5 and 6, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh! 6, 12, 18, sorry, I started counting bad, 24, 30. Oh, they both have 30 in common. So 3 something over 30 minus 2 something over 30. And we're going to say, how did 5 get to be 30? Times 6. Okay. How did 6 become 30? 5. Okay. So this is pretty simple. Now we have common denominators. We're going to subtract our fractions first. Take 5 from 6. 1. Denominator stays the same. 2 minus 3 equals 1. And that's my answer because I know that 1/30 is in simplest form. That is a pretty simple ideal subtraction fraction. Subtracting mixed fractions that you want. Now, let me try to make it a little bit more challenging. Say we have 2 and 4, 6 minus, let me think, 1 and 5, 6. Okay, this is super easy now because we already have common denominators. But here's the problem. We cannot take 5 away from 4. We can't. We don't have it. So, what I can do is I'm going to draw this out. 1, 2, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, okay, so here I have 2 and 4/5 minus 1 and 5/6. We always start with the fraction part. I can't take, if I take 1, let me get a bigger one, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. Oh my goodness, I have 1 left, but I don't have any to do. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to break this down. And I'm going to take away that one away. Now I've done that. So now what this problem should look like is we will have to break this down to a 1. We had to take 1 whole. And how many does it take to make a whole? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 6 plus 4. And this equals 10. Because if you think about it, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We had 10 sixths. Now I need to take this 1 whole away, 1 whole there. So now, what is 10 minus 5? 5. And I know my denominator is 6, and 1 minus 1 equals 0. So that is my answer. This is borrowing method. Okay, we had to borrow. What we did is we took this whole and we had to break it down into parts, and that's how we got our 10. Now, I'm going to do another one. Let's see here. That was 2 and 4/6 minus 1 and 5/6, right? I believe Yep. Okay, this is going to be called the ungrouping method. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup both of them. I know my denominator is going to be 6 because they gave it to us. So 6 times 2 equals 12, plus 4 equals 12 plus 4, so we're going to do times, and this is plus, so that's going to equal 16. And then 6 times 1 equals 6, plus 5 equals 11. Now I have common denominators. What is 16 minus 11? 5 over 6. This method is the ungrouping method is extremely easy because you don't have to borrowing. If that borrowing really confused you, then this would be a good method to do, turn them into improper fractions at the very beginning. You could also do this for adding fractions if that confuses you as well. I'm going to show you one more problem. Hopefully this will, I'm not going to do the ungrouping method, I'm going to do the borrowing method. Okay, so also you have 3 and 1/4 minus 2 and 2/4. Pretty simple, okay? So we already know that our denominators are the same, so we don't have to do anything. If I draw my picture out, I have 1, 2, 3, okay, and then we're subtracting 2, fourths, okay? So I know my answer is going to be something over 4. I cannot take 2 away, because if I take 2 away, they don't have 2, they only have 1 to take away. So I'm going to have to break this one down into fourths. And because I had to break this one down in fourths, this becomes a 2. Now I'm going to say, because 4 is how many it takes to make a whole, 4 plus what I had already, 1, so that means this becomes a 5. Now I can do 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, I've taken my fractions away, so now I have 1, 2, 3. I've dealt with my fractions, now I'm going to deal with my whole number. 1 for here, 1 for here, 1 for here, 1 for here. And now I have nothing left, so my answer would be 0, and 3/4 is all I have. We're really going to work on this tomorrow because I know it's confusing, but we're going to work on it. Come, and I'm going to let you practice. I'm going to let you practice here. 4 and 1/5 minus 3 and 3/5. Try to do this problem, and if you do this problem and you get it right and you show me all your work, then I will give you a special prize.